guys, my name is Cynthia and welcome to my channel, Graciously Growing. If this is your first time viewing this channel, it's about two things that I love, and that's growing plants and growing in the Word of God. Now you guys, today is water day because it's Friday, and it's approximately 10:54. I'm taking a mid-morning break from work. And what I intended to do is, and I'm still going to do that, is share with you a water with me in my plant room. But on the way to doing that, I was just looking at some other plants, and specifically the plants that are located upstairs. I call it my plant nook. And I was pulling off dead leaves on my syngonium, and it fell. Now this, you got to remember, my syngonium is upstairs and it fell all the way downstairs and created a bit of a mess. And so I'm going to put a clip in here about what I ended up doing the last 20 to 30 minutes, cleaning up a complete mess in downstairs by my front door. So guys, I don't think anybody would believe me. I started cleaning it up and then I said, no, let me show you how I'm starting my Friday morning. So I had a syngonium up there. You see where those plants are? 1, 2. And there's a syngonium on the end. And yeah, you figured it out. It dropped. It dropped all the way down in dirt. I've cleaned up maybe 20% of it. Dirt is everywhere. It just spilled everywhere. Look at this, all on the banister. Oh my goodness. Dirt going down the stairs. A complete mess. It broke off because this particular plant right here, it's supposed to be right there. So when the pot fell, it fell onto this poor little plant and broke off. I'm gonna show you. Broke off a complete, snapped off a nice portion of the plant. Here's the syngonium, the poor syngonium. I just, it was not doing well anyway. And so I just decided to let it go. But that's the syngonium in a heap. So you guys, yeah, this is what I'm working with. So I'm going to have to vacuum up this dirt, clean the baseboards, vacuum the steps, clean off the wall here, see how damaged this Dracaena is, and yeah. Happy Friday, you guys. Happy Friday. Okay guys, I got my coffee and we are ready to get to watering. But before we do that, I want to show you something. Remember when I said that I love, well, not remember when I said, because I say it all the time, but you know I love aglaonemas, and I told you that I bought a second aglaonema emerald red. I don't think I ever showed you where it is. So this is my, what do you call this, island? And it came in this beautiful pot. And at first, to be honest, I didn't like the pot because I'm not a gold type of girl. I'm like silver, gray. But then look at my counter, my island top. You see all of the hues of kind of like a bronze goldish. And so when I sat it on here, I was like, oh my God, that looks so nice. And so, yeah, this is where it's hanging out. And it's doing well. It has some new growth right here coming in. I think there's new growth somewhere else too. Let me see if I can find. Oh, maybe that's it. But yeah, it's doing well. It gets light from this window right here. And I think I've told you guys, but that light right there, I took out the bulb. And that is a grow light bulb that I got from Amazon. And the reason why I put it up there is because I have these two Hoyas that are on top of my cabinets, and they don't, they're too high up to get light from the window. So I just put a grow light right there. I leave it on during the day and cut it off in the evening. And I mean, they are doing well. This particular Hoya right here, I let it dry out too much and it lost a couple leaves last week. I wasn't paying attention to it, kind of forgot about it. So yeah, it's kind of recovering, but this particular Hoya right here is doing really great. So yeah, that's a grow light. And from that light, this aglaonema gets light. Now these are just regular lights. I don't even know if it helps this plant or not, but I've been watching it to see if I see any signs of it, not doing well. But so far, it's happy right there. And I just love it as, like as a centerpiece on the middle of the island. But we're supposed to be watering. So let's get to watering my plant room. Okay, guys, so before we get to watering plants, I just want to give you an overview of how my plant room is looking. So let's start from right here. So there's the door, obviously, and when you come in, this is what you see on this wall. And then if you go around, there you go. This is my, I call it my plant wall, centered on this one window that's in here. And then when you come around, this is a TV tray. It's actually the same as this one that I got from a thrift store. I think I paid, I don't remember, I told you $3, $4, $5 for it, and I spray painted it white because it was that ugly brown color as well. And I'm going to spray paint this one as well when I get a chance, because when I'm in here, I kind of put all of my stuff, my coffee, my work computer, my personal computer. I have this little fan that's clipped on. And then this is my little love seat sleeper, I guess you can call it. I really love this. I have a pillowcase going across the top because I don't want the oils from my hair obviously to ruin it. I also like the fact that it has a place for you to put your charger. I forgot what this type is called, but you can either put this type of charger or the regular USB. And another thing I like about it is you can have it like this, just sitting in here relaxing. But then if I want to really relax, I don't know if I can do this with one hand, but I'm gonna try, see if it works. Nope, I need both hands. Let me see if I can do this. I don't think I can. Let's see. Oh, there we go. I just use this. So you can pull it out. And what you do is, I don't think I definitely can do this with one hand, but we're going to see. You can lift it up, and I'm trying to do this. It's not that hard if you have both hands. Let's see if I can position this where you can see what I'm talking about. Okay guys, I had to put you on the tripod, not tripod, but I guess that, yeah, that's what it is, just to show you how this works. Hopefully you can see. So you take these two handles and you, well, first you pull it out like this, and then you take these two handles and do it like this, and voila. Now you have a sleeper, you know, and then this part right here, let's see, has 3 levels. Can you see? Okay, let me see. So you can have it like right here, or you can have it right here, like laying, you know, kind of lounging, or you can lay it all the way down. And so this way you can just, you know, take you a nice nap. So yeah, I am absolutely loving this little love seat area. And I find myself, like I told you in another video, I find myself just hanging out in here quite often, and just enjoying this place. It's a place for me to watch my plant videos. I sometimes actually work in here because I work from home 99% of the time. And if I'm not doing a Zoom proceeding, I just work in here. I pray in here. I read my Bible in here. It's my little, you know, place of refuge in my home. So I just wanted to share that with you. And so now we're going to get to watering the plants. Okay guys, so I want to also show you one more thing, and then we're definitely going to start watering the plants. This obviously is a bedroom, so it has a closet. And in here I have my plant. Let me see if you can see this. There we go. Up a little shelf where I keep some of my plant, you know, items. So on the top is my watering cans. I told you before, I really, really like these for watering. I keep my tea ones, and then also my orange juice ones coming kind of the same. And what I like about it is they hold quite a bit of water, and then the handle makes it really easy, you know, to handle, no pun intended. I also use this particular one to water my moss poles, and also I use this a lot in my IKEA cabinet. And then then I have my spray bottle. I usually use this for my ferns and spray them. I really should spray them every other day, but I'm not, you know, doing that like I should. And then lastly, I got this from someone I watch. I think it's Bella de la Plants. She called it a plant potty, and I thought it was such a neat idea. So this is just a bucket, right? It's just a bucket, and this is a strainer, and obviously this strainer now has been retired for plants only. But what I do is I put the strainer in the bucket, which is much easier to do with off camera, but see? So that's how it goes. And then I take this along, put the pot in here, water it, all the excess water goes in the bucket, and then you can just pour it out when you're done. So I use this as well. So that's everything I will be using today, other than maybe, you know, some scissors if I need to trim. But for right now, I'm going to take out 2 of these water jugs. I might need 3. We'll see. And then my sprayer. And I told you in another video, I got this from Home Depot for less than $10. Is the price on here? No. But it was not. It was very inexpensive. All right, you guys. So let's get to watering. I'm going to move you so that I can find a good place for you, so that you can see me watering the cabinet. Okay, so let's get started. I wonder, can you see? I think I'm gonna bring you a little closer. How about that, you guys? Oops. I don't wanna. I think you can see very well. You can't see me, but that's what you can see. What's most important, the plants. So now, these plants up here, these Hoyas, actually it's only, yeah, these 3 Hoyas and the variegated string of hearts and my string of turtles. The way I water them is I bottom water them, and I'm going to show you how I do that. I want to make sure, yeah, they can take a little bit of water. So I'm going to show you how I water them. Hold on. Okay. So I take this, and what I do, hopefully you can see, is I fill up the water on the bottom to, yay, about this much. Can you see that? Just set it in there. I do the same thing for all of them. This is why I like this little thing. It's so easy to get in. And I let it drink about 15 to 20 minutes. If all the water is gone, then that means it needs a little bit more. And see, if I didn't show you on the bottom, it has these slants. So that's where the water, the plant can soak up as much water as needed. A little bit more in there. And then when the pressure starts going away, you just give it a little up and down motion, and then you're back in business. So this is how I water these top plants. I've told you in other videos that I have been bottom watering, especially my string of hearts and string of turtles, because I've never had string of turtles before, but I've had quite a few string of hearts, and I've killed them all. This is the longest that I've ever had them, and I think it's because when you bottom water like this, it allows the plant to drink up as much water as needed, and there's less chance of you overwatering the plant. And so yeah, we'll come back and check on that in a little bit. So let me move you now. I want to be able to show you that. Okay. All right, so next, you guys, I usually take out the plants in the front just so that I don't have an accident. I've had enough accidents this morning. So let's just move these out of the way so that we can talk about the plants in the back and don't have a accident. Okay, that's good. So here is my, oops, let's see, it's growing. Okay, here's my Philodendron Burl Max variegated. I'm still loving this plant. I'm kind of wondering, here's the newest leaf, nice and variegated. Look at that. Here's another one coming in. Can you see that? Let's see. Here's another one coming in. It looks like it's going to be nice and variegated. And then it has two more. These don't look like it has, let me see if you can see. These two right here don't look like they have any variegation in them at all. They look like they're going to just be completely yellow. But I don't know. We will see. And then it has some other new growths. Points 1, 2 right there. So yeah, it's doing well. Like I told you, this light, the Soltech light, comes on at 9 in the morning, goes off at 9 in the evening. And so far I have been loving it. I'm gonna do a review on it, and if you watch me install it, you know that the what do you call it, the sticky stuff that it came with, that is not the term I'm looking for, where you could just you know, mount it on top of the cabinet. It didn't work for me, and so I got these magnets from Amazon, and they haven't missed a beat. So that's what I'm doing. So let's see if this one needs water. It's not completely dried out, but I think it can take a little bit of water. And so I really love using this particular one for my plants. Look at this. It's so easy to just get the water exactly where you want it to go. And then what I do is I lift it up. If it's not dripping from the bottom, I know it didn't get moisturized all the way through, so I give it a little bit more. And see if we get any. Nope. I see like one root look like it's trying to come out. So let's give it a little bit more. That should do it. And that does. So that's how I'll water it until I get some water coming out the bottom. And then I put it back. The next one I want to show you guys is my variegated peperonia. The proper name is right there. Peperonia gabella variegated. This is one of the most beautiful peperonias I have seen. I like the fact that it has the, you know, different hues of green and yellow, and it's quite happy in the cabinet. I have to be very careful not to overwater this plant, but it looks like it needs some water as well. So here again, I just use this sprayer. And then, see, it's dripping just ever. It did one drip. Yes, I'm gonna give it just a tad bit more. I just have to be really careful with my peperonias, you guys, because I don't want to overwater them. Okay, I think that's good enough. But isn't this a beautiful peperonia? It's really pretty. I'm hoping that it gets to the point where it gets so big that I have to take it out of this cabinet. And if you can see, I have the plants in the back here. I have them elevated, all three of them, the Bromax, this one as well. Be careful that I don't damage it, and it just sits there. Just gives it a little bit a different height for the ones that are in the back. And then also I have my Philodendron Sawyeri. It's doing okay, but one of the leaves ripped. I don't know, I guess it was having trouble unfurling and it ripped. I'm just gonna leave it alone and see what happens. But it's had some other new growth. Here's new growth here. Look at this, there's a new growth. This little one right here, can you see? This is new. This big leaf is in the way. That is a new growth. Obviously this is one that hasn't unfurled yet. So then we got one back here that is unfurling. So it seems to be quite happy. I just love the it has this, if you see it in person, I don't know if it shows on camera, it has like a silvery tinge to it. And the what would you call these, creasing in the leaves, the texture of the leaves is really really smooth. What do you call these? I would call it like ripples in the leaves. What's the proper name for that? But I just really love this. I love the texture of the leaves. I love how they feel. I love the coloring. So we got a leaf right back here that is dying off. It's at the bottom, so I'm not that concerned. It's really kind of moist, to be honest. I don't think I'm gonna give it any water. Well, it says keep moderately moist, but this is really kind of moist. So what I'll do is I'll probably check this again on Wednesday, because I do check my plants on Wednesday to see if they need watering, but I don't think I'm gonna water this one right now. It feels just a little too moist. All right, and then I have this pepperoni guinea. I don't even know if this is gonna do anything. It sprouted out this one little shoot and hasn't done anything in a while, but it's completely moist. So I will not be giving it any water. In another propagation, I'm actually have it. I don't know if you'll see it before this video, but I did a video on these, so I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this. This is a Philodendron Branium. This is, you know, I lost most of the plant, and so this is me trying to you know, salvage what's left. And this is really moist, so it won't get any water right now either. So what's next? Okay, so now we can put back the plants that were in front. This is my part one of my Calathea White Fusion that I am trying to save. It's doing well. It is completely moist. I just touched it. It definitely does not need any water. If I watered this plant, I'm pretty sure it would get root rot. Here is my begonia. It's completely moist as well. So it won't be getting any water today either. You see? So the only other plant we need to check up top is my alocasia. Isn't this my alocasia Friday? Let's see, you guys. No. Girl, this is Syngonium albo. I guess I want I think, oh, the alocasia is on the bottom. So this is my Syngonium albo. Look, you guys, look what we got going on here. See that? New growth. It came in this chunky mix. The lady says that they love this, and so I have left it here, and I'm trying to see. I feel like it's dry. I dig my hand in here. Yeah, I feel like it needs a little bit of water. So we're gonna give it I've never purchased chunky mix like this, but I got this from a nursery and she says they love it, and so I'm gonna leave it in here. And I feel like maybe I will start using this type of mix for my syngoniums, because you know, I just had one that croaked on me. It was croaking on me, and then see, there's a dripping, and then I finished killing it by dropping it this morning. So there you go, you guys. Everything, can you see? Everything on top has been watered, and so now we're gonna go to the bottom. Let me readjust the camera and I'll be back. Okay guys, here's the bottom. I tried my best to angle this where you can see what's going on. So let me move this out of the way so that I can show you what's going on in the bottom, in the back. So here is my, I never can remember the name of this, my Synapcus Picus Silvery Ann. And it's doing quite well. I did have to clip a bunch of leaves because I was a little concerned. It had some type of brown spotting on it. To me, it looked like some type of fungus, and it might have been okay, but I was concerned, and so I just chopped back everything that I saw with that. And it's doing fine. You see there's some new growth right here. And does it need water? I think it can take a little drink. So we're going to give it some water. I love how I can just get into these tight areas with this. So yeah, good investment. I actually also have one downstairs for my downstairs plants. So I'm gonna give it a little bit more. I usually don't have to water the things in this cabinet more than once a week because the cabinet is, you know, the humidity is pretty good. See, you probably can't see that, but it's dripping. There you go. So that's how I know it has enough water. And then I put it back. I'm not going to talk much about this because I did in another video. This is my philodendron white wizard. I have it trying to grow it back in sphagnum moss. I just did a video on this last night. It's not up yet, but I just did this and just watered it, so I know for a fact it doesn't need any water. And so then we have my Alocasia friedii. It definitely needs some water. Can you see this? Let me back up this camera a little bit so you can see this plant. I'm really enjoying this plant. I don't know if this is how, so I got, where is the new leaf? I think it's this one. So nice size leaf. And then I have these here, they're kind of small. I don't know if that's because it's not happy or what's going on. I'm gonna keep watching it, but so far so good with this plant. And I'm enjoying it. So it definitely needs some water. So I'm gonna give it some water. And let me, before it starts dripping all over me, let's put it back in here in its little pot. It's starting to, the roots are starting to grow out of the bottom, but not to the point where I feel like I need to repot it. I'm probably gonna try to wait until spring I'm really excited about spring, you guys. I'm hoping that my collection will just start growing. This summer and spring, I'm definitely going to fertilize my plants. I didn't last year. Just no reason, just lazy. But this year I'm gonna definitely. How do you keep up? You guys tell me, how do you keep up with what you fertilized and what you did? And that was one of the reasons why I didn't do it, because I don't water all of my plants. I check my plants on Fridays and Wednesdays, but whether I water them or not is up to what they need. And so I'm thinking I'm a kind of one of those people that have a chart for everything. So I think I'm going to take the time and list all my plants alphabetically. And I think I'm going to have January to, well, March to March, because I probably start fertilizing in March. So March 2024 to March. Well, because I don't fertilize in the winter. So probably from March to maybe August, September, there's going to be a chart. And so, because I only want to fertilize once a month. And so I'm gonna just have that chart. And if I fertilize that month, I'll just check for March. You know what I mean? And it'll just be one little page, and then I won't over fertilize my plants. That's the thing. That's the best thing that I can come up with to make sure that I don't, because that was one of the reasons why I didn't fertilize last year, because I fertilized once and then I was like, did I fertilize this? Did I not? And I couldn't remember. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. I don't know why this is not dripping, but it is wet. It may be taking a little bit of time to get down. I'm not gonna give it any more water though. So let's put this back. And then next, you guys, is my Philodendron melocrosum. What's going on with this one? It has one new leaf coming in right here. That's pretty much it. It is so it says to keep moderately moist, so I'm going to give it a little bit. It's not all the way dry, but I'm just going to top it off. Yeah, I think that's enough. And stick it back in here. What I like about this melocrosum, if you can see it, there it is. Can you see it? It's such a, if you have this plant, you know it's really got this velvety texture. It has this velvetly texture to its leaves. It's really pretty and soft. So I do like that. So yeah. So what else do we have in the cabinet, you guys? So the rest of these are rehabs. I did a video on this rattlesnake, so I'm not going to talk much. I'm not going to talk about it at all. You'll hear what I have to say about it in the other video, but it definitely needs some water. So I'm gonna give it a good drink. Yeah, that should do it. Yeah, that should do it. And then this is the other, and this is soaking wet, so I'm not going to give it any water. This is my other part 2 of my white fusion. I talk about that in that video as well, so I'm not going to talk about it here, but there is something going on, so I'm anxious to see. This is my poor little, you know how I feel about calatheas, you guys, arborfolia. It was doing well. This leaf was doing well. First of all, this leaf was not in the cabinet, number 1. Number 2, I got sick and I couldn't keep up with my watering, and I was just so weak. I didn't top off the humidifier, so the humidifier was off for like 3-4 days, and during that time this plant just crisped up. And so when I started feeling better, I put it in the cabinet, and we'll see. And it does have a new growth. Wait, can you see? See? Wait, there you go. New growth coming. So I'll probably eventually get rid of that leaf, but that was on me. But you guys, I had COVID and I just didn't have the energy, and I knew that some plants was going to be suffering. And this arborfolia, what I should have did was should have just got up and put it in the cabinet, you know, because I think it wouldn't, you know, the humidity in the cabinet would have kept it. But you know, I wasn't thinking about that at the time, so it is what it is. But it's still alive because we have new growth coming. And that is it for everything that is in my IKEA cabinet. So let's take a look at the plants that I topped off by watering on, I mean not topped off, but the plants that I watered from the bottom. Let's see how they're doing. So let me see if I can move this back up. Okay, you guys. Okay. Oops. All right. So let me move this a little closer. So I want you to be able to see. I don't know if I can get any closer than this. So let's start over here. As you can see, all of that water is gone. And so I touch the top, and if the top is still dry, what I do is I do it again. Okay. And same thing with the next one. Let's see here. And of course, if you're wondering what this is, I believe this is my Hoya croniana, I believe. And here's my Hoya Crimson Queen. And again, as you can see, all the water is gone. And I touch the top. The top of this is nice and moist, so it won't get a second helping of water. Okay, and then let's check this one. It is nice and moist as well, so no more water for it. And as you can see, all of the water's gone. I really do like bottom watering. I would really suggest you guys, you try it if you're having trouble keeping certain plants. If you're having trouble with certain plants and you keep overwatering them, give it a try. So here's the string of hearts. It drank up every bit of water, okay? But it's really still dry on the top. So I'm gonna give it a second helping of water. Hold on, I don't think all you can see is my arm here. Let's try that. Let's try it this way. Is that better? Yeah. Okay. And then finally, let's check the string of turtles. It still has water, just a little bit. And it is moist. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this little bit of water and I'm just gonna pour it in this. It's just a little bit. I'm gonna pour it in that begonia. And can you see? Yeah. And then I'm just going to put it back. So this plant is doing really well. All of the shoots, I call them, that you see right here, this is all new. All of these things that are standing up and hanging down like this, it's new. This is a very happy string of turtles, I'm glad to say. So what we got going on here, you guys, is I topped off this Hoya and this string of hearts, and I'll come back later, and whatever water it hasn't drank up, I will, you know, throw it out. And yeah, so you guys, the cabinet is done. I want to show you something else as well. Here at the bottom, oh, let's see if you can see that. Yeah, I think you can. Here at the bottom, I have my propagations. Like I told you, I did a video on that. Can you see that? They are maybe not. So let's go a little lower. So here, right here, here, and here are my propagation boxes. And the reason why, let me just take this off so you can see. So here are my propagation boxes that are right on the ground, and the reason why I have them here is because they can take advantage of the light coming out of the cabinet, because your propagation boxes, they need a lot of light and moisture. So I just did a video on them, and so I know for a fact they don't need any water. So let's move on. Okay guys, next we're going to check on these two plants that are right here at the door. This is my Agonema spatinium. Let's make sure that's right. Yeah, spathinema. Probably not pronouncing it correctly. This plant has not been doing well. I brought it in here because it keeps yellowing. There's a leaf yellowing like almost every other week. And here again, you see there's another one. I may take it out of its pot to see what's going on. I'm not going to do that today. And then here's my Florida green, who is doing well and has some new growth going on up at the top. I do have a video way back when of me putting this plant on a moss pole, and then we're going to water this Calathea medallion, and then also my well, we're going to see if it needs water. Why can't I think about what this plant is called? This is my philodendron red diamond. Yeah, and it's doing well. It actually has a root growing all the way up to the top, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, so we're going to water that, and then we'll water these two stragglers over here by themselves, this fern, and this pothos propagation. So that's what we're going to check on next to see whether they need water or not. Okay guys, so let me check this Agonema here. I'm not going to give it any more water. It's moist, and I already have a leaf that's yellowing, so I'm going to kind of like pull back on watering it, letting it do more of the drying out thing before I water it. Now my Florida green, I have to check two places. I check the soil, it's really wet, and I check the moss pole. Let's pick this up. I check the moss pole. The plant doesn't need any water, but the moss pole does. And this is why I love this little thing here, because there's two ways I can water this. If If the plant needed water as well, I have these little cut off water bottles in here, and I will just pour water down into this, goes into the moss pole, also into the plant. But if the plant is pretty moist like this one is, I just water the moss pole and not the whole plant. Just like this, you guys. I love this thing. So easy to do. My moss poles, I have to do this 2 to 3 times a week because they get dry really quickly. And so that's what I do to keep it nice and moist. Yeah. So now we're gonna go to the other side. Let's take the camera. I keep saying camera, I don't have a camera, but the phone here, and I want you to see these. And we're gonna check this calathea here, calathea medallion. It says it's a peacock, but it's not. This is really, really moist, so no water for it. And then I'm going to check it's pretty moist, so I'm not gonna give that any water as well, but I am going to spray the moss pole. Keep it, it's very important if you have moss poles that you keep them moist, especially when you have roots that you know are in there, because if you let the moss poles dry out, then guess what? The roots that are in the moss poles, they're 9 out of 10 gonna dry out. So this needs to be refilled. So that's why it's making that noise. So before I get to watering the next section, which is going to be, let's see if I can lift this up, you guys. Okay, hold on. So we have quite a bit of plants going on. So we're going to water the plants that are on this side going down. Also the plants that are going across, these 3 plants here. That's usually how I do it. Then I go on the other side and do that side, and then I come back and do the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Let's see. Hopefully you guys can see. I think that's good. Okay. So up here, oh, let's not forget about these. This is my propagation. Like I said, I have a video, so I'm not going to talk about it. This is pretty moist, so I'm not going to touch it. And then this fern, which I moved out of where it was because it was doing so horribly. It is pretty moist as well. It stopped browning. So now hopefully it'll start growing, and then we'll be doing something. But it doesn't need any water. So my cissus, no, this is not my cissus. This is my creeping inch vine. I have the big plant, the mother plant downstairs, and this is a cutting, and it definitely needs water. So this is when I use my jugs here. So just put a little bit of water. Let's see. Hold on. There we go. And then I just lift up to see if it's dripping, which it is. And it has some new growth in there, you guys. You see that? The little baby ones. Yeah. So I'm gonna give it just a tad bit more water, because this dries out so quickly. And then I'm gonna put it back. Yeah, I love this. I think I'm going to cut another cutting, get another cutting from the mother plant so that I can have one more I want to put in my bedroom. Absolutely love this plant. So yeah, next is this one. This is my philodendron micin that I got for my birthday, and it has one yellow leaf back there. I'm gonna get rid of that. But other than that, look at it. It's really happy. Let's see if it needs any water. This plant is soaking, well, not soaking, but it's really moist, really moist. So that's what I'm saying. It's water day, but I'm definitely not gonna water that plant. Absolutely not going to. Here is my philodendron lemon lime. They call it lemon heartleaf philodendron. I don't know where I got the lemon lime from, but that's what I call it. And it's moist, but it's not moist. I mean, it's not completely dry, but I'm gonna give it a little bit of water. And because I don't have one of those drip pans underneath it, can you see? I'm just going to just turn it. Oops, why is the camera wanting to fall? Don't fall. Let's see. There, don't fall. I'm just gonna put a little bit of, oops, water. There we go. And then next, get out of your way, is my, you guys, I don't know the difference. Somebody tell me, what is the difference between a Enjoy? There's two. It could be an Enjoy. There's another one that I don't know the difference. It's either an Enjoy or, ooh, it's eluding me. If I remember or can find it, I'll put it on the screen. But to me, both of those plants look similar, and so I'm not quite sure which one I have, but let's check. It could take a little bit of water, not too much. I don't like the angle of this camera, you guys. Let's see if I can switch this. I don't know why this is leaning. It's driving me crazy. Let's see. Okay. There, that's a little better. Can you see? Okay. So, I'm gonna give it just a little bit of water. Not a lot. Here is my Peperonia Cupid. I'm not going to give it any water. I'm just so careful with this Peperonia because I had a few rotten stems in here last week. So I feel like that is a sign that I was giving it way too much water. So I really try to water this maybe once a month. And so no water for you, young lady. No water for you. And then the last one on this one is my one of my cuttings. And this is one of my cuttings from my spider plant. It's really nice and moist as well. It's doing really good. It started as a little baby. It's doing well. You know what I found out about spider plants? I have a tendency to overwater them as well. So I need to be real careful. So you guys, we've watered everything down this pole, and now I'm going to turn my attention to these 3 hanging plants. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so first things first is this lipstick plant. And I think I showed you this before. This is just one of those drip pans, and I just tied it with some string here so that every time I water it, I don't have to find somewhere to sit it down, let it drip, put it back up. This way any excess water just stays there. And the plant, it's been doing well, and I do believe it needs a little bit of water. So I don't overdo it with this plant because it's a pretty small pot. So yeah, so any excess water will just be contained right there. And I'll put it back up. And then next is my pepperoni I hope. As you know, I have one in my office, but this one is my favorite because it's so nice and full. And this is another plant that I really am concerned about overwatering. So what I've decided to do, if I can, I think this part comes off, this part right here. I'm pretty sure, maybe not. Oh, it does. See, this comes off. And so I've decided for this pepperoni, I'm going to bottom water it so that I don't over water it. So what I'm going to do is, I thought I had, give me a minute, you guys. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to sit it down, and I'm going to do the same thing I did with my Hoyas and my string of heart and my string of turtles. I'm going to water it from the bottom. I'm going to let the plant decide how much water it needs. I wish I could find a place to put this. Maybe I could put it over here so that you guys can see. So I'm going to put it, I'm going to move this fan. Okay. And I think I'm going to put it right here. I definitely need to spray paint this, you guys, white, because this ugly brown is driving me crazy. So I'm going to put it right there. Can you see that? And I'm going to, I don't know, I don't think I have enough water, so I'm going to go fill this up and then I'll be back. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to see. Hopefully you can see that. I have two. I'm gonna so this has I'm gonna put a little bit more water in there. Trying to cover up that booger hole right there where it can determine how much it needs. I don't know if you can see that, but there's quite a bit of water in there. And then we're gonna come back later and see how much it's strength up. And that way I won't be overwatering my pepperonia. Okay guys, so now that we have the pepperonia doing its thing over there, this is my Hypercerta goldfish. Come on, focus. Focus. Hopefully that's focusing. And it is quite dry, quite dry. And this particular plant also has the cover pot, the drip pot attached. I don't have to worry about water going everywhere. And this plant is always dry every week. It loves water. So I give it a good drink. But look, it's doing well. And then I'll let it drink up. And if there's any excess water, I'll take it out later. Let's move it over. Okay, so next, you guys, we're going to deal with the plants that are on this side. Sorry, I have to keep moving the tripod here. So here, up here is my Cebu blue pothos, and it's dry. It's dry. No questions asked. What did I do with the water? Okay. So we're going to give it a nice drink. And as usual, it's in a cover pot. And I just lift up the cover pot. Make sure the water's going all the way through. And so yeah, this is my Cebu blue. I have another one. Here's a yellow leaf. I have another one in my kitchen area that's doing okay as well. So that's that. And then we have I think this is a philodendron cordium. And it's quite moist, to be honest. So I'm not going to give it any water either. All right, you guys, here is my philodendron, my variegated teardrop peperonia. It's not been happy with me. So what I've started doing with this plant as well is I put a drip pan. I don't really need to have drip pans because this thing itself is as a drip pan, but I put one in here and I'm gonna water this from the bottom because I feel like that's why it's not doing well, because you know peperonias can be temperamental. So I'm gonna let that soak up what it needs. And here is my Agonema butterfly, and it's very moist, doesn't need any water. Isn't it a beauty? And you see it has 1, 2 new growths right there. So we're gonna leave her alone. She doesn't need any water. And then we have my another peperonia. I don't remember the name of this peperonia. If I can find it, I'll put it on the screen. But it's doing well. It's really moist. No water for it. Because like I tell you, I am really bad about overwatering peperonias. Then we have, you guys told me what type of peperonia this was. I remembered for a while and now I forgot. I'll put it on the screen too if I can remember. It's nice and moist. This plant hasn't done anything for me. It's not dying. I think I see for the first, oh my goodness. I do, new growth. Can you see that? Right there. And then look, I don't know if you can see that. Right there, there is a little green nub. And then there's one over here. Slow grower, but there's a nub there. So it's, I take that back. It's doing something. So, but it's moist. In case you guys were wondering how the Agonema Silver Bay that I am babysitting or plant sitting for my friend, how it's doing. Here it is. Oh, can you see? So, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 once it stopped yellowing, that's what we're left with. I think that this plant is going to come back because these leaves, look at them. They're very nice and healthy. No hint of yellowing. And I think the plant is just dormant right now. But I think when spring comes, it's going to do its thing. It's completely moist. And I think that's what was one of the problems. So I will definitely not be watering her. Okay. So now, you guys, I'm going to deal with the plants that are in the middle. Can you see? And we got a lot. Obviously, it doesn't take me this long to water plants if I'm just doing it, you know, myself. But doing a video, it does take quite a bit. So this right here, these three plants, this Algonema siam, this Algonema, I can't remember the name of it. I'm not doing good with names. In my Algonema red emerald, usually what I do, I take them down and put them on the floor to water them. And let me show you what I do. And then that way I can water the other plants that are around them without them getting knocked down. So what I do, because this plant is just sitting, this is just something to use to elevate it, these three. And so I do my best not to water them with them up because it's just too easy to knock them down. So I put them on the ground. Okay. And now that they're on the ground, I can water everything else that's over here, right? So we're going to start. You guys, I do have a fungus gnat problem and I'm going to deal with it. This is just a propagation for peperonia. I forgot to put that in the video the other night. But if you, as you can see, can you see all of those? Yeah, see all those roots? I have just been putting off, you guys, planting it up because every time I do it, they die. They look really good, but then as soon as I put them in soil, they die. So what I think I'm gonna do, I wanted to try out putting plants in pond medium, and what's the other one? It's pond, and I just can't, words are just not coming to me, but there's a different, leca, pond and leca. So I think I'm gonna try to put that peperonia in pond instead of putting it in soil and see how it does, okay? But next we have my calathea. Well, this is not, it doesn't say it's a calathea, but I know it's in the calathea family because it leaves goes up and down, but this is the proper name of it. And let's see if it needs any water. And it sits here in the windowsill. Ooh, this plant is dry. And look at it, it's absolutely beautiful. I got it from the grocery store. It was for me because it was just sitting there. And it was the only one. I mean, I don't know if maybe they had a lot and somebody had came in and got the rest of them, but it was just sitting there. And yeah, look at the bottom. I really am going to need to repot this, but I'm going to try to wait until spring gets here. But anyway, it does need water. So what did I do with my water can? So we're going to give it some water. Okay. A little bit more. There we go. So yeah, I'm also trying, you guys, and I don't even know if this works. I forgot to put, did I put this one in my propagation video? I think I forgot about this one too. This is from one of my snake plants downstairs. I accidentally popped this off, and I was like, I wonder what happens if I put this in water. It does have, it's growing a little bit of roots. I don't think you can see that. Oops. I put way too much water in this plant, you guys, because it's spilling water. So where I do have a handy dandy cloth for that. Okay. Oops. So let's, before I make a complete mess. So remember, I have this, I should have watered this plant in this, and then I wouldn't have had that problem. See? Plant potting. Because I don't want to mess up my window seals, you guys. Okay, I'm glad I caught that. Too much water. So let's put it back. Okay, no harm done. So next is my Calathea peacock. It's pretty moist. I'm not going to give it any water. I did put that as part of my rehab in the video, because the video was about propagations and rehabs, and I did put that plant in that video. This one here, my Schifera, is pretty nice and moist. I think. I don't know. I'll give it a little bit of water, but not a lot. So that's my Schifera. And then on the other side, can you see? I did a lot of cutting this plant right here because I let it get too dry and it had a lot of browning leaves. So I just cut it back. Yeah, and it definitely needs water. And then that would be the end of this watering can, and I need to get another one. But there you go. And I have these actually sitting up, elevated as well, just sitting on another pot. I like to do that so, you know, you can see the smaller plants behind the bigger plants. So yeah. So now we got, you guys, let me see, lower it. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. My pothos. Oh, I guess I want to forget about this. Here's a peperonia that is losing all its leaves like the other ones. You know what? I see spider webs. I wonder if this is a spider. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm afraid of spiders. This is not spider mites. Absolutely no. This is a spider. This is a spider that's on this plant somewhere. Don't tell my daughter she have a fit. I'm gonna have to deal with that later. But at least it's not spider mites. But yeah. So now we're going to water these 4 pothos. So let me go get another watering can, and I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm back. Here's my lemon meringue pothos. You know, she's one of my pride and joys when it comes to pothos. She is so dry. So we're definitely gonna give her a good drink. And right below me is my plant potty, so that I can pour the excess water out of the drip pan before putting her back. I want to make sure she gets a good drink because she's usually really dry every week. So I think I always take the excess water out, but I think she's doing good. So we put her back. You see her? She just sits there on the corner. Oops. I think I should move you closer. There. Yeah, so she just sits there on the corner right there. And then next we have my philodendron cordon Brazil. It's amazing how you can have plants so close to each other. One is completely dry, one is just moist. I noticed, tell me if you found out different, that my philodendron Brazils usually don't need to be watered a lot. This plant is completely moist, so it will not be getting any water. And we're gonna move along to the, I want to call this something, I'm gonna call this a snow pothos, and I don't even have one of those. This is a marble queen. And let's see how she's doing. I kind of stopped using my water meter. I think I got the wrong type, because I'm telling you guys, it would just not be accurate. I guess all water meters are not created equal, and so I've been just using my hand, because I've had my water meter tell me the plant is completely moist and the plant is literally laying down. It's so obvious that the plant needs water, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna have to get me another water meter. But anyway, this plant needs water. And then I just pour the rest of it out in my little potty, plant potty, right there. And yeah, she's doing good, nice and full. And put her back. And then finally, here is my golden pothos. I love her as well, you guys. She needs water. I really do love, like I said, see how easy it is to handle this and handle a plant. I used to use another type of, I don't have it in here, another type of container, but I could not do this because it didn't have a handle like this. So to me, this is ideal, especially when you do videos and you need to be able to water your plants easily. So way too much water. Put that in the plant potty. And now she is nice and happy. She has some really big, beautiful leaves, you guys. So I put her back. So now pothos are watered. And let me show you how I'm going to water the bigger plants that I put out of the way. So let's see. We need to bring this down, bring this all the way down so that you can see. Still. Okay guys, so obviously I don't have this problem when I'm not videotaping because nobody needs to see, but I want to kind of show you how I use my plant potty for my bigger plants. Here is my Aglaonema Emerald Red. I'm not going to carry on about how much I love her because I've told you so many times. So I just stick her in the plant potty. I have a towel underneath here so I don't want to, you know, dirty up my couch. So I just give her a good drink. And I don't know if you can hear that, but all the excess water goes into the pot, the bucket, the plant potty, and that is how I water my bigger plants. I find that this works perfectly, and then I let it, you know, kind of drain for a few minutes and get all of the excess water, and then I put her back in her cover pot. And then I put her back where she belongs, and I'll show you one more. I give you one more look of how that looks over there. So she's nice and watered. We're gonna do the same thing to my next Aglaonema. Why can't I remember the name of this Aglaonema, you guys? Is this the Aglaonema Pink Dalmatian? It could be. I think it may be. But anyway, I do the same thing to her. Give her a good drink. And she's actually in a pot, 2 pots, because actually this is a cover pot. And then this is, I don't know why I have her in 3 different pots, but anyway. I think I just like the look of the other one, but I let it drain. And then I put her back in her main, let's call this her main cover pot. This keeps all the mess contained, you guys. And then it is this way you make sure that your plant is not sitting in water. You know what I mean? So yeah, I let her make sure she gets most of that water running through. And then I put her back. And then we have one more, my Aglaonema CM. She's growing like crazy. She doesn't like a lot of water, so I have to make sure I'm very careful with her, because she will start rotting. Her leaves start turning to mush if I give her too much water. I've never had any of my other Aglaonemas do that, and this is, you know, I don't know if it's the way she's been potted, because I haven't taken her out of her original pot. But yeah, I have to be really careful with her. So I'm almost out of water. This is my 3rd one. I have 4 in here, and I usually don't use all 4. That's why and then I fill them back up and wait until next week and use them all over again. So yeah, she's dripping from the bottom. Just let her, so here's what I'm talking about. See, you have to be real careful with her. Look at this. This leaf is just pretty much disintegrating, like to mush. And I don't know why she does that. I just have to be real careful. Like I said, when I water her, I try not to water her but once a month, and maybe I might even go once every 5 weeks if she keeps doing that. But she feels dry, so I'm watching her carefully. I'm watching her very carefully, you guys, and making sure that she is okay. But look at this. Look, I just pulled this whole thing out. I feel like this plant might be, have some type of root rot going on, but I don't understand how, because that's why I'm going to get a chart. Like I said, for this plant, like I'm going to do that chart this weekend, and I'm going to put that I watered this Aglaonema on January, because she got new growth, you know, all over the place. It's a very confusing plant. She has new growth everywhere, but that just pulled out. I just touched it and it came right out. I'm so confused. But anyway, I think that's enough draining. And then I put her back. And I'm just gonna have to watch her, you guys, and make sure that she does it. Okay, so now we can put that back, and then I can lift you guys back up. Hold on. Okay. Oops. I am not the best at the tripods, you guys, so you got to bear with me. Okay. So, there is a look at how they look now that everything's watered. Maybe I should bring you down just a little bit. There you go. Bring you a little closer. So there is the Aglaonema Emerald. I think that's Aglaonema Pink Dalmatian, maybe. And then my Aglaonema Siam that's giving me a heartache here. So yeah, so the only other thing that I have to water in this room is these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plants that are, let's see if I can show you. Okay, can you see these? Yeah, good look. So here we have my Aglaonema Silver Bay, my Ansonii right here, and then on this side my Silver Queen and my Philodendron Lemon Lime. And I am going to use my plant potty, as I call it, to water these. And I'm so, look at that. It was completely no roots. I wonder, can I propagate this, you guys? What do you think? If maybe I cut off, I'm gonna try. I mean, I don't have anything to lose, do I? I'm gonna try to propagate this. I'm just gonna put it in one of my little dollar store jars. Let me tell you what I mean. I have a bunch of these, like the one that the pepperonia's in. This was the $1.25 store. This, I have a bunch of these. I'm gonna use it, and I'm going to see if it works. But for right now, I'm gonna put it right here. So let's start with my Monstera Ansonii that I got. I did a plant haul on this a long time ago, and it was like I just walked in the store. You know how sometimes you are in the right place at the right time? And they had this one and the lemon lime for $5.99. I mean, it's a little bigger, but it came in this white pot. It came on this trellis, and I was like, oh my God. So I'm trying to see if it needs water. I think it needs a little bit of water. So I'm just going to, here again, I'm using my plant potty. And let that, I was having so much trouble getting this out of the cover pot that I put one of these drip pans in here, but the wrong way, so that it sits up a little higher. I don't know if people do that, but I just could never, I was hurting my fingers, cutting up my fingers, because I just couldn't get it out of the pot, and it just started frustrating me. So I did that for this one, and I also did that for my lemon lime. So can you guys see me? Yeah. So I'm just letting this drain a little bit, and now I'm putting it back in, and it's doing well. I think, I don't know if it's a slow grower, you guys, or I just am not very good at this. It's gotten bigger. It's gotten a little bit fuller. Yeah, I think it's doing okay. I think it is doing okay. And so we'll see if it actually grows to the top of this trellis. Then I'll be coming on here asking you guys, what should I do? But for right now, I'm gonna put it back. And then next is my Algonema Silver Bay. You know, I have the big one downstairs, and then I have this one. Let's see if it needs water. This thing is very moist. So look at it, it's beautiful, but no water shall it get today. So now we're gonna go over here to my Algonema Silver Queen. It has a yellowing leaf back here. It's a bottom leaf. I always like when it's a bottom leaf because, you know, some of the YouTubers that I follow always say, remember, that's a normal part of life for a plant to lose its bottom leaves. Now, if it's losing its top leaves, then you know that may be a problem. And this plant is just really growing. Look, there's new growth right there. You can see there's new growth right here. This is just unfurling. These two, you can tell how light this is. This one just unfurled, so it's a happy plant. And does it need water? It's in a cover pot, so let's take it out. See, some of the cover pot, most of my cover pots, I can just take it out just like this. But if I have to fight with it, then that's a problem. I don't think I'm gonna give this any water. It's still in this original cover pot. Not cover pot, but nursery pot. Algonema Silver Bay. I got this from, I think it was Home Depot a long time ago, you guys. So it's doing good, and I just have it in there. I'm not gonna give it any water. And then the last plant that, well, there's two more plants that we need to look at, is my philodendron lemon lime. Is that what this is called? I think this is still in the same nursery pot. Maybe not, because I don't see any. Oh, here it is. Yeah, philodendron lemon lime. Look, it was initially $24.98, you guys, but that day, I'm telling you, they were, I want to say $5.99, $6.99, but it was a crazy, crazy sale. So I was so glad that I was there. And this plant is a little moist, and you can see it has a lot going on here. So it has some new growth. I don't think, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna water this either. And so it's doing okay. It's really, to me, it's a slow grower. And to me, the new leaves that are coming in are so tiny. Can you see that? Look how tiny that is. And see, look at this one that's coming in. Look how tiny that is. I haven't gotten any big leaves since I purchased it. And look at this leaf. Tiny. So to me, that's a sign that this plant, although it's not dying, it's not thriving. I also noticed that it has a lot of roots that are exposed right here. I don't know if you can see that. So I think I'm gonna have to repot this. I didn't really want to bother with it because it has a trellis, and I may repot it and just put it back on the trellis. But see what's, because it has a lot of roots exposed. So maybe next, I'm just trying to figure out, should I wait until, it's because it's cold right now. It's in the middle of unfurling quite a bit of plant leaves. I think I'm gonna wait, maybe see if I can do this in March, and then I might repot this. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna just wait because it doesn't look like it's dying per se. I think it'd be happier. And some of these exposed roots are already dead, probably because they're exposed. I don't know how they got on top of the soil. I don't know. Is this aerial roots? I don't think it could be aerial roots, you guys. That might be what they are. But yeah, so they're pretty much dead anyway. And maybe that's just taking up nutrients from the plant. I don't even know what that is. I think that's a sheath, you know, from one of the leaves. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to give this plant a better looking over at a later date. So two more plants, you guys. And I'm not gonna move the camera. I'm just gonna bring the plant to you. This plant is on top of my IKEA shelf. This is my ivy, and it was, if you remember in another one of my plant tours, it was actually in my what do I want to say, my dining room area, and it was dying. See, I have a lot of it wasn't doing well, so I brought it in here. And since I brought it in here, it has stopped dropping leaves, and so now I just feel like it needs to recover, and I'm just pulling off all of those dead leaves. It just was not happy in the dining room, and so I'm hoping that I can get this, you know, get this plant to recover. As you can see, it's really bald on the top. I don't do very well with ivies, you guys. I never have. And so I am starting over. And so now that I took it down, I can actually see all the dead leaves, because I usually just use my step stool and put water in it, but I haven't really been paying a lot of attention to it. So we might as well get all of that stuff out of there and let it start fresh. And hopefully this spring and summer, you know, because we do have a lot of nice green leaves here. When you get rid of all of the yellow ones. So yeah, I think it's gonna be okay. I think it's gonna be okay, you guys. I'm beginning to learn how to listen to my plants when they are visibly, how they say plants can be vocal. They are vocal. Not audible, obviously. But you know, if you learn your plants, they'll tell you if they're happy or not. Now the problem with that is figuring out why they're not happy. I think that, I don't know if it was the lack of light. I don't know. All I know is that it's doing a little bit better, and that all of these leaves that I'm pulling off are, you know, from it being in the other location, and I see it looks like it's just a little bit more healthier. So as far as water goes, this plant is completely moist. And so I am definitely not going to give it any more water. I'm going to put it back where it is living, and hopefully it will continue to grow. The very last plant, you guys, is, oh, actually, I forgot about my fern here and my begonia. But before we get to that, I think I'm gonna just bring it to you. I think it'll be easier that way. Okay, you guys, here's my other fern. What did I tell you? I don't do well with ferns. I cut this one all the way back because it had so many dead vines. I've cut it all the way back, and hopefully it'll grow out this summer. Okay, and then we have this fern. This is a bird nest fern. It is completely dry, so we're gonna give it some water as soon as I find my water. Okay, we're gonna give it some water. Okay, and now you see those little knobs in here, right there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's where the new plants the stems come up. Not stems, but the new leaves, whatever you want to call them. That's where they come up. And I've been told do not water it in the center because it will rot. Always water on the outside. And so that's what I've done with that plant. Now let's look at this peperonia. It's really nice. It's really nice and moist, you guys. And so what I'm gonna do, I don't know if I can do this with one hand. Okay, and let's move it. There's quite a bit of, let's see, where can I put this so that you can see? There's quite a bit of water. Oh, I just spilled that all over my couch. This is what happens when you try to do something with one hand. Thank God it was just clear water. So it should be okay. I'll wipe that down off camera. But it did have quite a bit of water in there. So, but it's really moist. So that means it has drank all the water that it needs. Then I'm gonna try to put it back on its little drip pan. I'm just gonna put it right out. I will snap it back on later because I'm not gonna be able to do that. We're holding this phone. I keep saying camera. And then the last plant is way over here in the corner, you guys. Okay. And this is my begonia. So let's go over here. Let's see if it needs any water. Oh my God, it's so dry. So it's over here. It's doing well. What I notice is where it's bare, it's growing new leaves. Like, let me see if you can see, like, see right there? It was bare, it's growing new leaves. I didn't know they do that. So you guys, if you got like a begonia that is, you know, got leaves on the top and bare in the middle, don't be so quick to cut it back because it looks like to me that the leaves grow back. So yeah, she's doing pretty good. Let's give her some water. Yep. So she's nice and dry, nice and moist now. Yeah, and I believe, you guys, that is the last plant that is, oh, let me turn that off. Move that out of the way. Yeah. The only other thing we need to do is open back up the cabinet. And remember those two that I topped off? Okay, there's a little bit of water still in this one. It's nice and moist, which means it doesn't want the last little bit of this water. So I'm gonna pour it in the potty here. And then I'm going to put it back. Okay, and then I think there was another one, yeah. And the same thing with the string of hearts. It's nice and moist on the top. And it has, it doesn't want this water. So we're gonna put it back and look at the temperature in the cabinet. It's gonna change because I have the door open, but it's 80. So these plants are quite happy in here. So, okay. So yeah, so I tell you guys, bottom watering is working. I have never kept any string of anything alive as long as I have. And I think I also did that for this pepperoni over here. It's nice and moist on the top. It has just a little bit of water left. Trying to do this with one hand, you guys. So see, there's just a little bit of water left. Pour that in the potty. Put it back. And that is how this plant will get watered from now on. So yeah. Oh, you guys, how could you let me forget 2 plants? Look, the ciscus discolor right here is not soaking well, but really moist. It's only like 3 leaves. What I want to do with this plant, now that I've got it to stop browning, is add some new plants. One of the nurseries sell these really cheap, like you can get a little 4-inch for like $5, and I'm gonna just fill out the top for that. And then over here is my, I think this is, you guys tell me what this is. I want to say it's some type of Synapcus, and it is, look at these leaves. Let's see if it needs water. No. Isn't it beautiful? But the thing about this is it's only 1 plant. So like, it's really beautiful, but look, the top. So there's nothing there, and then just in the front, but it's really beautiful. So I really want to also, you know, add a plant to make that fuller, but those leaves are absolutely gorgeous. Now, I can say for sure, you guys, that this is it. So here is another, even though my plant room's a little messy right now because I've been, you know, watering, but here is a look at what's going on. And that was that fern that I showed you that I brought down. There is my new Drail humidifier, which I like. I told you I'll give you an update on that. And then there are all of the other plants that I've shown you. So you guys, I really, really, really am enjoying my plant room. And yeah, so I wanted to do a water with me and an update. You know, I love long videos like this where, you know, YouTubers water and talk about each and every plant. Some people love it, some people hate it. I try to do a little bit of everything on my channel. I have videos that are really short, and every once in a while I give you a long one like this. And so if this is not the type of video, you know, it's too long for you and you have to maybe watch it in parts or not watch it at all, I understand. You know, everybody has different likes. Okay guys, that is the end of today's video. I am going to now go back to, I'm going to clean up my mess here in my plant room, refill up these containers. I used a total of, right here, I used a total of 3. I actually still had 1 more. Well, you can't see it because I have the camera, but there's 1 more that I have in there. And so 3 is definitely usually enough. 4 is for, if 3 is not enough, 4 is definitely enough. And so I don't have to keep going back and refilling to do this room. Later on today, I will, you know, water the rest of my plant collection, but off camera. Maybe in a couple weeks, I will do a water with me in my main area, and we can talk about the plants that are in that area. But until next time, I hope you all are having a very happy Friday. I hope you are doing fun things this weekend, even if that is just staying home and relaxing. But until next time, you know what I always say, you guys. Vive l'Est.